Muhammad Ali was an American professional boxer, activist, and philanthropist. He was born on January 17, 1942 at Louisville, Kentucky, United States. Nicknamed the Greatest, he is widely regarded as one of the most significant and celebrated sports figures of the 20th century and one of the greatest boxers of all time. He was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, and began training as an amateur boxer when he was 12 years old. At his age of 18, he won a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome, then turned professional later that year before converting to Islam after 1961. At his age of 22, in 1964, he won the World Heavyweight Championship from Sonny Liston in a major upset. He then changed his name from Cassius Clay, which he called his slave name, to Muhammad Ali. He set an example of racial pride for African Americans and resistance to white domination during the civil rights movement. In 1966, 2 years after winning the heavyweight title, Ali further antagonized the white establishment by refusing to be drafted into the United States military, citing his religious beliefs and opposition to American involvement in the Vietnam War. He was eventually arrested, found guilty of draft evasion charges, and stripped of his boxing titles. He successfully appealed the decision to the United States Supreme Court, which overturned his conviction in 1971, by which time he had not fought for nearly 4 years and thereby lost a period of peak performance as an athlete. Muhammad Ali was one of the leading heavyweight boxers of the 20th century and remains the only 3-time lineal champion of the division. His records of beating 21 boxers for the world heavyweight title as well as winning 14 unified title bouts were unbeaten for 35 years. Ali is the only boxer to be named the Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year 6 times. He has been ranked the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. He was also ranked as the greatest athlete of the 20th century by Sports Illustrated, the Sports Personality of the Century by the BBC, and the 3rd greatest athlete of the 20th century by ESPN Sports Century. After retiring from boxing in 1981 at age of 39, Ali focused on religion and charity. In 1984, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's syndrome, which some reports attribute to boxing-related injuries, though both Ali and his physician disputed the claim. As his condition worsened, Ali made limited public appearances and was cared for by his family until his death on June 3, 2016 in Scottsdale, Arizona. In February 2013, Ali's brother Rahman Ali said Muhammad could no longer speak and could be dead within days. Ali's daughter Meme Ali responded to the rumors, stating that she had talked to him on the phone the morning of February 3 and he was fine. On December 20, 2014, Ali was hospitalized for a mild case of pneumonia. Ali was once again hospitalized on January 15, 2015 for a urinary tract infection after being found unresponsive at a guest house in Scottsdale, Arizona. He was released the next day. Ali was hospitalized in Scottsdale on June 2, 2016 with a respiratory illness. Though his condition was initially described as fair, it worsened and he died the following day at the age of 74 from septic shock. Following Ali's death, he was the #1 trending topic on Twitter for over 12 hours and on Facebook for several days. BET played their documentary, Muhammad Ali Made in Miami. ESPN played 4 hours of non-stop commercial-free coverage of Ali. News networks such as ABC News, BBC, CNN, and Fox News also covered him extensively. Ali's funeral had pre-planned by himself and others for several years prior to his actual death. The services began in Louisville on June 9, 2016, with an Islamic Janaza prayer service at Freedom Hall on the ground of the Kentucky Exposition Center. On June 10, 2016, the funeral procession went through the streets of Louisville and ended at Cave Hill Cemetery, where Ali was interred during a private ceremony. His grave is marked with a simple granite marker that bears only his name. May his soul rest in peace.